Hiroshima, Japan. The site of the first atomic bombing in 1945 during World War II, which led to massive loss of life and long-lasting effects from radiation. Auschwitz concentration camp, Poland, a symbol of the Holocaust where millions of Jews, along with other minority groups, were systematically murdered by the Nazis. Chernobyl, Ukraine, the site of the 1986 nuclear disaster, which caused widespread environmental damage and the displacement of entire communities. The Killing Fields, Cambodia, mass graves from the Khmer Rouge regime in the 1970s where an estimated 1.7 million people were killed. Bhopal, India, the site of a gas leak disaster in 1984, which killed thousands and caused long-term health issues for the local population. Pompeii, Italy, the ancient city buried by a volcanic eruption from Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD, where thousands of people perished, preserved in volcanic ash. Ground Zero, New York City, USA, the location of the World Trade Center, which was destroyed during the 9/11 terrorist attacks, resulting in nearly 3,000 deaths. Rwanda, Africa, the site of the 1994 genocide, where over 800,000 Tutsi and moderate Hutu were killed in just 100 days. Srebrenica, Bosnia and Herzegovina, the site of the 1995 massacre, where thousands of Bosnian Muslims were killed by Serbian forces during the Bosnian War. Nagasaki, Japan, the second city to suffer an atomic bombing during World War II, with thousands dying instantly and many more from radiation exposure in the years that followed. The Andes, Chile. In 1972, a plane crash left survivors stranded for weeks in the snow-covered Andes, where many died from starvation and extreme conditions. Kanchanaburi, Thailand, the site of the infamous death railway built by forced laborers during World War II, where thousands of prisoners of war died from brutal conditions. The battlefields of Verdun, France, one of the longest and deadliest battles of World War I, with over 700,000 casualties, where entire villages were destroyed. Chilean miners, Copiapo Mine, Chile. In 2010, 33 miners were trapped underground for over 2 months before being miraculously rescued. Congo River, Central Africa, the world's deadliest conflict since World War II, with millions killed in a series of civil wars in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Krakatoa, Indonesia, a volcanic eruption in 1883 that caused a massive tsunami, killing tens of thousands of people and drastically altering the climate. Tiananmen Square, China, the site of the 1989 student protests, which ended in a violent crackdown by the Chinese military, with hundreds, if not thousands, killed. Guernica, Spain, the site of a 1937 bombing by Nazi German forces during the Spanish Civil War, which resulted in the deaths of hundreds of civilians. Saint-Pierre, Martinique, the city was destroyed in 1902 by a volcanic eruption from Mount Pelée, killing nearly 30,000 people. The Titanic's final resting place, North Atlantic Ocean, the site of the infamous 1912 sinking, where over 1,500 people died when the RMS Titanic struck an iceberg. Resilience and rebirth. Many of these tragic places are not just defined by their pain, but by the human capacity to rebuild and heal. For instance, Hiroshima and Nagasaki have transformed into cities of peace and recovery, symbolizing hope for the future. Historical lessons. Tragic events often serve as cautionary tales, reminding us of the destructive potential of war, neglect, and environmental disasters. Understanding the histories of places like Auschwitz or Rwanda is essential in ensuring such atrocities are not repeated. Environmental impact. Some of these tragedies, such as Chernobyl or the Bhopal disaster, have had long-term environmental consequences, creating ghost towns and affecting ecosystems for generations. The health and environmental repercussions often continue to unfold for decades. Every tragic place is filled with personal stories of survival, loss, and heroism. The survivors and their stories contribute to the deeper emotional understanding of the event. Many of these locations now serve as memorials, museums, or UNESCO World Heritage Sites dedicated to preserving the memory of the tragedy and educating future generations. Auschwitz concentration camp, Poland. Preservation of memory. Auschwitz is now a museum and memorial site, preserving the memory of the victims of the Holocaust. Millions of visitors from around the world come to witness the tragic history, paying homage to the lost lives. The site plays a crucial role in Holocaust education and serves as a reminder of the dangers of unchecked hatred and intolerance. Educational role. The site is an important place for educating people about the Holocaust, the importance of human rights, and the risks of prejudice and discrimination, where visitors come to witness the impact of the disaster firsthand. This has raised awareness about nuclear safety and the long-lasting effects of radiation exposure. Rwanda Genocide Memorials. Healing and reconciliation. Rwanda, after the 1994 genocide that saw over 800,000 people killed, has become an example of resilience and reconciliation. The government has prioritized national unity and forgiveness. Memorials and museums, such as the Kigali Genocide Memorial, play a vital role in remembering the victims and educating people on the importance of preventing such violence. Global Lesson Rwanda's transformation emphasizes the power of national healing and the need for international intervention when signs of genocide appear. It has become a beacon of hope for other nations seeking peace after ethnic or political violence. Pompeii, Italy. The eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD buried Pompeii and Herculaneum, preserving them in volcanic ash. Today, Pompeii is one of the most significant archaeological sites in the world, providing invaluable insights into daily life during the Roman Empire. It serves as a reminder of the destructive power of nature, but also as a symbol of historical preservation. Pompeii attracts millions of tourists every year, and through excavation, scholars continue to uncover new artifacts, providing further education on ancient Roman culture and history. The 1989 Tiananmen Square protests in China were met with brutal force by the Chinese government, leading to a violent crackdown. To this day, the Chinese government maintains strict censorship around the events of Tiananmen. Psychological impact on survivors. Trauma and recovery. Tragic events leave deep psychological scars on survivors. Post-traumatic stress disorder, grief, and survivor's guilt are common among those who experience or witness extreme violence or disaster. Many survivors dedicate their lives to sharing their stories and educating others about the horrors they faced, which is crucial for collective healing and awareness. Healing through art and testimony. Survivors often use art, writing, and public speaking to process their trauma. Museums and memorials, such as those at Auschwitz and Hiroshima, help convey the emotional weight of these events and the need for collective memory and healing. Role of memorials and museums. Preserving history. Memorials and museums like those at Chernobyl, Srebrenica, or the Holocaust serve to educate future generations. They help ensure that these events are not forgotten and that the stories of the victims are shared to prevent such tragedies from happening again. Educational outreach. Many of these sites work to spread awareness beyond their borders. For instance, Hiroshima's Peace Memorial has been instrumental in advocating for nuclear disarmament globally. Similarly, Rwanda's Genocide Memorial plays an active role in preventing genocides in other parts of the world through education and diplomacy. Global impact and human rights movements, international law and justice. Tragic events like the Rwandan genocide and the Bosnian War have led to the establishment of international courts, such as the International Criminal Court and the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia. These institutions are vital in holding perpetrators accountable and ensuring justice for victims of war crimes and crimes against humanity. Promoting human rights. Tragic places often serve as pivotal turning points for the human rights movement. They highlight the need for international intervention, the protection of minority groups, and the prevention of crimes against humanity. The lessons learned from these tragedies often lead to global treaties and stronger protection of human rights. Environmental disasters. Chernobyl and Bhopal underscore the importance of environmental justice. They remind us that corporate negligence and poor safety practices can lead to catastrophic consequences for both people and the planet. The slow process of environmental restoration in these areas offers lessons about the long-term impacts of industrial disasters. Ecological rebounds. Interestingly, in places like Chernobyl, nature has begun to reclaim areas once contaminated by radiation. This has led to fascinating studies on how ecosystems can survive and adapt in extreme conditions, providing both a warning and a reminder of nature's resilience. Global memory and empathy. Cultural memory. These tragic places are not just historical sites, they represent the memory of entire communities, nations, and cultures. The way societies choose to remember these events, whether through memorials, educational programs, or public remembrance, plays a key role in shaping collective identity. Building empathy. Learning about the pain and suffering that occurred at these places helps foster empathy across cultures and nations. It reminds us that human suffering is universal and that we all have a shared responsibility to ensure that such tragedies are never repeated. Philosophical and ethical questions. The meaning of tragedy. Tragic places challenge us to reflect on deeper philosophical questions about the nature of suffering, human evil, and the ethics of memory. How do we balance remembering the past with moving forward? Can we ever truly heal from such deep wounds? These places force us to confront uncomfortable truths about human nature and the potential for both destruction and redemption. The role of technology in disaster prevention, advancements in safety. The disasters at places like Bhopal, Fukushima, and Chernobyl have spurred advancements in industrial safety, crisis management, and environmental monitoring. Technology is now central to preventing such large-scale tragedies. Enhanced safety protocols, early warning systems, and environmental impact assessments have become standard practices in industries to minimize risks. Role of social media and technology in reporting. In more recent tragedies, social media has played a crucial role in spreading awareness, organizing relief efforts, and documenting the impact of disasters in real time. Platforms like Twitter and YouTube have allowed global audiences to connect to tragic events as they unfold, which can spur immediate international response. Personal stories of transformation. From victims to advocates. In many cases, survivors of tragic events become advocates for change. They use their painful experiences to fight for justice, raise awareness, and ensure that future generations understand the importance of preventing similar tragedies. Their stories often become the most powerful tools in preventing history from repeating itself. These additional insights provide a deeper understanding of how tragic events impact not only the affected regions, but also the global community. They highlight the importance of education, the power of memory, and the role of individuals and societies in ensuring that the lessons from these places are not forgotten. Reflecting on the tragic places around the world and the profound lessons they teach us, it's clear that history must not be forgotten. Now is the time to take action and ensure that these tragedies lead to a brighter, more compassionate future. Here's what you can do. Educate yourself and others. Take the time to learn about these tragedies, their historical context, and the ongoing impacts. Share this knowledge with your community to spread awareness and prevent similar events from happening in the future. Support memorials and museums. Visit memorials and museums dedicated to preserving the memory of victims, whether it's the peace memorials in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the Srebrenica Memorial, or the Holocaust museums. By supporting these sites, you contribute to the vital work of keeping history alive. Advocate for human rights. Stand up for the protection of human rights everywhere. Support organizations that are dedicated to preventing genocide, war crimes, and environmental disasters. Demand accountability and justice for those affected by tragic events. Promote peace and diplomacy. Get involved in peace-building initiatives in your community or on a global scale. Support efforts that promote conflict resolution, nuclear disarmament, and peaceful coexistence between nations. Contribute to relief efforts. In the face of current or future disasters, whether man-made or natural, contribute to relief efforts. Every small act of kindness and support can make a difference in rebuilding lives and communities. By taking action today, we not only honor those who have suffered, but also contribute to a world where peace, justice,